Welcome back to Covers His Puck Props with 14-year NHL vet Carlo Colaiacovo. Brought to you by Sports Interaction, pal. Let me say, you know how to make me laugh. There's a lot. You're a man. You're a man with a
One of my many talents, for sure.
bud.
Yes.
With a finger on the pulse of the entire league. I appreciate it. All odds coming via Sports Interaction Small Plate today, Carlo. 3 games. Message of this morning. I said, you like anything? You're like, not really. It's not a great slate. It's
not. It's a tough one.
It is a tough one. So a lot of these are more leans than plays, but still like some things. Starting off Detroit, New York. Let's go over 6 here. Sneaky over 6 minus 115. It's a decent price compared to the market. And this Detroit team has a sneaky good offense. They're sitting 4th in goals per game, 29th in 5-on-5 save percentage, so they can give it up too. Ville Husso's in net. He is 10-1 to the over in his 11 starts this year. That's something special. We get Adam Fox likely back today. That will help move the puck. Jonathan Quick is 4-1 to the over in his last 5 if he does get the start. But Shesterkin's coming off that last one. Patty Kane. Do we know if Patty Kane is playing in this game? And even if he does this really push anything? Does his defensive woes take away from what he can contribute offensively?
Yeah, no, my understanding is that he's not playing in this game. There hasn't been a determination of which game he will make his debut in. But I think the sense is that he's going to use the next couple of days to get acclimated to Detroit, get in a couple practices, and then see how he feels from there. I don't think there needs to be a rush to get him in. It's going to be his decision, but we won't see him tonight. That's for sure. You said sneaky over, and I'm glad you said that, because when you said that to me, it didn't really scream over to me because Jonathan Quick was starting, and he's been such a great story for the LA Kings this year. He's actually playing better than Shesterkin, and Shesterkin is the guy that has been giving up a lot of goals lately, considering the hot start that he got off to so far this early on the season. And Alex Lyon has been the guy playing in net the last couple of games for the Red Wings, and he's been putting up Vezina Trophy numbers. But if it's a Ville Husso game, I get excited about this total now, considering it's him and the fact that both Detroit and the Rangers have just bursted out on the offense in their last couple of games. So I like the fact that this is a light night in the NHL. There'll probably be a lot of eyes on them. And for Detroit, the news of the Kane edition definitely gets the juices flowing within that locker room. There's a lot of excitement around the players about, the potential of how good this team can get, or how much better this team can get with his addition. But there's also, a fire that is lit on. There's some players that are comfortable in a position, but those positions might change right now depending on how he gets inserted into the lineup.
Yeah, that is a really good angle. My position might be at risk here. I could be losing minutes. Should show it off tonight. And you talked about Quick. Quick has been great, but like you said, he had that 1-0 shutout win versus Pittsburgh, and I don't know. We can honestly say he's playing above his skill set. He's
above expected.
Yeah, exactly. See, it's leaning on you. I love it. Now you're dropping the expected. Let's go to an absolute burner here. Montreal, Columbus. Just digging through this game was not a lot of fun, but Kirill Marchenko for a point here at minus 115. He's up to the top power play unit, top line, 4 points since the line benching, including 2 points Chicago, scored a goal versus Carolina, a goal versus Boston. Those are not easy teams to score against. And then a much easier matchup tonight versus Montreal, 29th in scoring chances allowed per 60 at even strength. And my favorite thing here, Carlo, I talk about what's being priced in. Usually it has a lot to do with what he's averaging. His time on ice, 15:27 from the beginning of the season to November 14th. And now he's up to over 18 minutes possible ice time. Looking at this Montreal blue line, you know this team very well. Weidman, Savard, Harris, Aberjackay, all on the back end. They're out. When you're missing that much talent, and basically let's call Arbor the scariest player in hockey where you lose that edge, how does that affect how the Jackets approach this game offensively?
Well, they should feel good about their game offensively. They've won 3 of their last 4 games, and in 2 of those 4 games, they've scored over 5 goals.
Boston.
And so, obviously there's a lot of attention there considering the benchings that some of the players got. And has that message been received? You'd like to think so. But, you mentioned it. Montreal, the other thing that doesn't bode well in their favor is they haven't played since Saturday. And Saturday was literally one of the worst games I've ever seen them play. They had one shot in the first period, and the shot came from a clearing of their zone that ended up on the net. So
they had no ozone shots on net
in the first period, zero. It was a fluke shot that they ended up. It was you're clearing the zone and it went and hit the net. That was their only shot on net. So there's a lot to be said about them on the road trip. It was in LA. There was a rookie party on Saturday night, whatever it is. These last couple of days, they've had a long time to let that stew and come into this matchup. So you wonder what the rust factor is going to be having this many days off. And Columbus coming off a very impressive win, beating the Boston Bruins, who don't lose much in today's game. So, clearly the top players in Columbus have had the message sent to them. And Marchenko right now is one of those players that is reaping the benefits of that. He's played really, really well. He's put up a bunch of points lately. And against a Montreal team that's somewhat vulnerable right now. You talked about their defense core that's very, very thin right now. Provides a good opportunity for him. I mean, to try to pick a winner in this one, you're kind of flipping a coin. So I expect there to be goals to be scored because Montreal can still score when they're at the top of their game. And if that's the case, Marchenko's showing good value here.
You got anything on the side there? Montreal plus 110, Columbus minus 130.
Nah, I mean, like I said, it's too tough to predict the winner in this one because they're two below average teams, right? I mean, Montreal could come in and benefit from the time off and really use that rookie party that they had as like a team bonding thing and really play some spirited hockey, or they could lay an egg. If I had to pick a side, I'd probably go with the home team in Columbus because they're coming off a really impressive win against Boston, and you think that could, at least jumpstart them a little bit. They've won 3 of 4, so I would probably lean Columbus on this one, but I wouldn't feel confident with it.
No, this game could end 3-1. This game could end 6-4, and I wouldn't be surprised.
And I can tell you what, if I was doing the game, I would say strongly it's Columbus because I've done 5 Montreal games this year, all 5 losses.
Nice. That's on you. That's on you. And then the final game, the night pack, Washington at the Kings. Went through a couple things, tried to look at the Kings on the puck line, but we're going Washington team total under 2.5, minus 125. Washington. What do you say about Washington? Bottom 5 in expected goals against. They give up a ton of stuff. Bottom 5 scoring chances against. Basically, bottom metrics across the board. And you jump over to the Kings. Top 5 team in scoring chances for offense. They have the best goals against in all of November at 1.6. So they're coupling their great offense by keeping the puck out. They're on a 5-game winning streak. No one's scored more than 2 goals on them in that winning streak. Washington coming off a 2-1 loss to San Jose to start their 5-game road trip. And they have 1 goal in their last 2 games, including that game versus Edmonton where they lost, I believe, 5-0. Are there bad matchups? Not bad matchups, worse matchups for certain teams, just how you match up game to game. And is this possibly one of them where just LA is just a bad matchup overall for Washington?
Well, I tell you what, LA is one of those teams in the league that is not getting enough attention or not enough credit for how good they really are. I mean, I think they have the least amount of regulation losses in the league. And I did their game on Saturday.
They lost on the road yet? Are they still perfect on the road? They might be.
That's a good question.
I think they were.
And it wouldn't surprise me because they are superior. Like they are like a serious threat to be reckoned with in the league and in the Western Conference. They don't give you much offensively because they play a good team structured defensive game and they're getting saves. I mean, Talbot and Copley, do you know how much both of those guys combined make to fill out their goaltending position?
Sub
$2.5 million. Like Talbot's 1.5 and Copley's 1. And you wouldn't know that with the way that they're playing because they're at the top of their game right now. And they can roll 4 lines. And the beauty about their 4 lines is every line brings something different. And so that's why they should be getting a lot more credit than they are. And maybe this is what they want. They just want to quietly go about their business, but they're very close to being a team that you just can't stop talking about. But Washington is an interesting case because they're a team that started off really slow, and a lot of people said, how is this team going to win any hockey games? Then they reeled off a bunch of wins in a row. They put themselves, in a good position in their division. And then the last couple of games, they put up a bunch of stinkers. And they lost to San Jose the other night, and you wonder if that was maybe a game they didn't really respect their opponent too much because they were looking ahead to LA, knowing how tough that challenge was going to be. And the fact that they lost that game, it's a bitter pill to swallow, going there losing. But I wonder if that game will motivate them, and it should, to play a harder game and to get back to the things that were making them have success. But they have a challenge tonight in doing so. LA is not going to make it easy for them. LA is one of those teams that they just make an investment. Every shift, every period, they wear you down. And then when it gets to the third period, they just take over. And I kind of sense that's a situation that could happen tonight with Washington. And let's be honest, Washington has struggled to score goals all season. Even in games that they
power play goals in November.
Wow. I mean, even in games that they win, they're not high scoring games. So, I guess a team like LA that presents a challenge defensively, they're going to struggle to score again tonight too. And so I think you're finding value here with the under 2.5 total.
Yeah, I think that's what's kind of pushed me off the puck line at -1.5, where Washington has no issues playing those low scoring games.
Washington can defend too, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think that matches up better, and I think that's the better value there. Seeing some -130s, -135s across the board. Probably price by about -135 for this play, but staying up late, probably not want to watch the unders. Wait for the morning, see if you cash. That's where we are. Washington team total under 2.5, -125 on the nightcap. And then we started off with the early one, a little sneaky over called the Detroit Rangers over 6, -115. Kind of hoping, it sounds awful, but kind of hoping it's Shesterkin right now. But I'm happy with Quick or Shesterkin in that game. And then the game, like we said, could finish 3-1, could finish 6-5. Montreal, Columbus, Kirill Marchenko over 0.5 points, -115. 3-pack today, 3 games, touch them all there. Let's do that. We'll reconvene on Friday, Bud, on a bigger slate. I'm Josh Ingles. He's Carlo Colaiacovo. Thanks for tuning in. Covers his puck prop. Brought to you by Sports Interaction. We'll see you back here Friday. Lead us out, pal.
Ciao.